There's not one guy, one person in the history of this program that's bigger than the program.
What's up, and welcome into episode number 85 of the Program Guys podcast. My name is Mason Prince. Joined with you as always by Patrick Hertzberger, Matt Gann, Mark Hall, no Ryan Tyson this week. Today is Wednesday, August 23rd. Be sure to like and subscribe on our YouTube channel. You can follow us on Twitter at Program Guys with a Z, our Instagram Program Guys with a Z, our Facebook page Program Guys Podcast, our TikTok Program Guys still blowing up. You can follow us online at programguys.com. There's no at there. I was saying go to the website programguys.com. Great content up on the website there. We've been churning out the positional previews. You can find those on our YouTube channel, on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, anywhere you get your podcast. Where you're getting this podcast, you're also getting the positional previews. Mark and company been railing those out. Probably the wrong turn of phrase there, but that's okay.
That's the right word. We've
Yeah.
been running train on the Program Guys Positional Preview podcast.
That's right, respectfully. And then guys,
Respectfully.
the big thing that we got to focus on as well is the pick'em. College football pick'em is happening week 0 this week of college football. Next week it goes live. Patrick, tell the people one more time about how they got to join the pick'em, baby.
Yeah, guys, go to the link on this YouTube video or Spotify link and click our Pick'em League. Join. You're picking against the spread every single week, and it's sponsored by Hype Shoe Company. The top 3 people get a free pair of Hype shoes. You can either get university slides or customize your own slides, so you can literally put your dog's face on a pair of Hype shoes. Yeah, that's it.
Dude, that's so sick. It's got to cost like, Matt, right? It's got to cost like $50 to enter this competition, though, right?
Joke's on you. It does not. Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
100% free. No
It's
cost.
free?
Join it on in. Come on.
Wow.
boys.
Well, that can't be, because Mark, you got to be able to pay to get these positional previews and go to programguys.com, right?
See, that's the crazy thing. We thought about the paid model.
Mhm.
It doesn't work.
Yeah.
We went the free model. Come on in, baby. We're the Program Guys. Everyone's a part of the program. We can't do it.
Folks, everyone else wants your money. What the program guys want is your attention and your loyalty, your friendship, all for free. All for free, people. Join the program, guys. Join us for this football season. It's going to be a fun ride. Going to be a great season. Guys, I am 1,000,000% drinking the OU football Kool-Aid. I watched the ESPN Plus show, the first episode on ESPN Plus. OU DNA. I think that's what they call it. And man, drinking the Kool-Aid. Let me tell you, no one has better slow-mo practice footage than this football team.
I know.
I'm telling you right now.
I know.
Can you give us a synopsis for those of us without ESPN Plus of like what you saw that's got you just lining up to chug Kool-Aid?
Yeah. So the opening of this season, they did it last season. The opening of this season is Brent Venables and the entire team in the locker room, and Brent talking to them after the Cheez-It Bowl, telling them essentially how proud he is of them, about how hard they fought, how hard they worked. They did everything that Brent asked them to do, and laying the foundation for the future. And it was a really impassioned speech, typical Brent Venables shouting, passionate speech. But, you see Justin Broyles there, and he's in the locker room crying, knowing his football career is over. Danny Stutzman front and center, staring Brent dead in the eyes, listening to everything he has to say. Like this, you could tell how this team responds to Brent, and just in general, how much they love this staff and each other. And they look really good. They had a good offseason from the looks of it, and I like it. I'm all in.
Yeah, I mean, I keep saying this. If you have any doubts, you're not watching the fall camp highlight clips. You're just not.
Unbelievable.
Exactly. Ryan Tyson exclusively ignoring the offseason highlight clips. Let me tell you right now. But so that's good. If you haven't gotten a chance to watch it, go go watch it. It's pretty dope. Okay. We plugged everything we need to, right? I feel like we did. Guys, seriously, one more shout out to Mark and the gang. Anyone who's hopped on the positional preview pods and the articles that have been written. Ryan put up some great film reviews as well for Oppenheimer and Barbie, right?
Yep.
Does he have those two up?
Yep.
So
Barbenheimer, little bit late, but he's rocking it.
But he's rocking it. Go check those out. Content's dropping fast for the people. Okay. Some new pod alert. Matt Gann, give me a new pod alert.
How?
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. Hey, I'll take
I
it.
love that.
I'll take it. So
You gotta change it up every time, Gotta keep you on your toes.
Absolutely. So, guys, here's our schedule for the upcoming football season. Okay. We're going to have a regular weekly show for the people. Okay. That's going to drop on Tuesday, Wednesday, probably Wednesdays, most likely. Okay. That's your program, guys, your bread and butter you've come to know and love. Okay. Sunday is when the Saturday night or Sunday, depending on what time the game is, how quickly we can record. That's when your post game is going to come out. Okay. Post game pods are a whole lot of fun. Watch us raw reaction, people. A lot of the times it's raw reaction from the boys. We don't have time to digest it and think about it. We're just ripping off the Band-Aid.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Yeah. And then on Mondays for the people, Mark or Patrick, give me a little bit what we're doing on Mondays.
Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, so I'm sticking with maybe some Sunday drop in here just for the people.
Yeah,
but it's just going to be a national landscape college football roundup. None of us are going to pretend like we know these teams better than anyone else does, but we're going to talk about it the way that we talk about everything here. We're going to have fun with it. We're going to banter a little bit. Patrick is for no great, I mean, look, he's marrying into it, but like Volunteers, man, that's another SEC team.
90 yards. He can throw it 90 yards.
Okay.
Bro, Jamarcus Russell could throw it further.
Yeah, we're not going to do this.
That's not a measure.
Sorry,
know?
Keep going.
This is what you're going to get, though, whenever they inevitably sit Joe Milton at Tennessee. This is what you're going to get starting next week. We'll be covering the Navy Notre Dame game. We don't even know yet which other ones we're going to, but tune in, check it out, give us some feedback, let us know, support, send it out to all your friends and family, subscribe, maybe throw notifications on if you're so into it. I just think these are all things that you could do to support the new pod. Matt, give me another new pod alert.
Here we are.
Oh, okay, so they changed. All right, I was hoping for the same one. But...
They changed.
But yeah, it's fun. We're toying around with names. We'll definitely have one down by the time we get to record time next week. But come hang out with us and talk football. That's going to be the best.
Love it. Yeah, folks, join us. It's going to be fun, guys. Also, something to look forward to when the season starts. If it's an away game and the guys are together, or even if the guys aren't together, and we feel like going live on Instagram or on Facebook or anything like that, join us. We'll have a little watch party. You guys can watch the game with us, just how we watch it. It's literally what we do. Just banter for the boys back and forth. Okay. Yep. So follow us on all of our social media channels for that as well. Okay, guys.
Matt drinks a surprising amount of liquor during these games, guys.
It's fascinating. Truly is. Okay, yeah. Let's Matt, let's pretend. All right. So some OU news to get to. We're gonna start with some recruiting news. Okay. Upcoming commitments coming up. Okay, guys. So August 24th, we got Andy Bass. August 26th, that's Saturday, David Stone. September 8th, Nigel Smith. September 1st, Dominic McKinley. Early October, Danny Okoye. So that's where we're at, guys. It's getting down to the nitty gritty. Andy Bass, in case you're wondering, that's on Thursday. This pod's dropping Wednesday. So tomorrow we will hear Andy Bass
early in the morning.
Yeah.
Something like 9:45 to 10:15, something like that.
Gotcha. So we'll hear from him and then David Stone on Saturday. So it's happening, folks. It's happening, and we're getting down to it. We do it all the time. I have nothing new to add on David Stone. Like, we'll see what happens. It's got to be OU. It's got to be, but
Why is he throwing up the U?
I mean, dude,
I didn't
he
like
just-
that at all. But he's
But
a
Ja-
gamesman. He's a
Yeah,
gamesman.
he is. That's a
Playing-
good way
playing
to
the
put
game.
it.
We've
Mark.
known that forever,
That's-
man. He
that's a
good way to
dabbled with Michigan State. He dabbled with Oregon. He's dabbling with Miami. He's basically in Miami at IMG Academy. He's coming home. David Stone, I've dropped my balls. That's going to happen.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Frankly, mid-pod, ball drop, Andy Bass is coming too.
Oh, mid drop.
folks,
I
You
like
heard
it.
it here first. You heard it
Wow.
here first.
guys.
Let me hit the
That-
drafts real fast.
Yeah, Mark, I'm in shock. I'm in shock. The man is dropping balls live on the air. It's no
We
FCC.
might need to start recording these live so the people
yeah,
can
no,
join it.
no FCC violation here. These balls are dropping. So,
Dang.
okay, Matt Gann, anything to add on the recruiting front, brother?
Yeah, just one quick ad. I sent you guys some information on Dominique McKinley. Looks like it's going to be another OU versus Texas Red rivalry showdown between what he's choosing based on the sources, or at least the most updated source. And that was just a few days ago that I saw. The one thing about him, he does live about 2 hours from UT's campus. So that's obviously going to play a factor as his family. He also has a younger brother who's a sophomore. So might want to go see and watch him play his high school ball to finish out his high school career. But family's going to be a big part of this. So being 2 hours away from UT's campus, it's going to be pretty hard to snag him out of there. But that would be a great another defensive line add for Todd Bates and Miguel Chavis to add to the 24 line. So look out for Dominique McKinley. That could be a sneaky one that OU's in for.
Sneaky. Okay. Pat, anything to touch on before we move on?
Nothing specific, but I'm just nervous. I'm nervous for this next few weeks with Stone and Smith, two guys that we really need to land.
Look, there's no shaking it, right? Like, this is a big couple of weeks for Oklahoma. This is a big couple of weeks. You got to hit on David Stone. You got to come out of the gates strong. You can't limp out of the gates for the regular season for OU in terms of playing on the field. You got to hit on Nigel Smith. Hopefully, it's a big couple weeks. There's no shaking it. And if you're scared, go to church. You know what I mean? Like, you got to step up. Big time programs make big time plays in big time moments. This is one of those. Okay, you missed out on Williams Winery. That's fine. Lick your wounds and let's move on. You got other fish to fry. Let's figure it out and let's get it.
The Williams Maneri recruitment wasn't intertwined with anyone else's except for Isaiah Moses and Kamar Moore. Obviously, guys at his high school, maybe even Caden Green last year. You know, that's game.
Mm-hmm.
Nigel Smith and David Stone are close. Those guys have visited together. They've spent time together. Those guys have spent a lot of time with Todd Bates together. If we get Stone, I'll feel better about Nigel Smith. Is kind of the whole thing I got.
Good point.
Yeah,
It's
I
not.
get that.
These aren't unconnected, disconnected points in time. All these things build up on each other.
I'm with you. Let us know down below in the comments, folks. We read every single one of your comments. Okay, blow up the comment section. Let's have a little fun banter in the comments for the people. Okay, we always read every single one of them. We appreciate it. Okay, so football season starts this week, guys. Football starts this week, week 0. So we figured it would be wise for us to give you a little Big 12 preview. Okay, last season for OU and Texas in the Big 12. BYU, Cincinnati, Houston, and UCF coming in. What is this season going to look like in the Big 12? Yeah. So what is it? Sorry, I'm reading things. Dude, work is crazy right now, by the way. Just like I feel like everyone's life is just nuts.
Yeah.
Right. And I feel like it doesn't stop. And these folks got to know I'm in program guys mode right now. I cannot be reached.
Right.
I cannot be bothered. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, okay, Big 12 preview time. we're going to go through a couple different topics here just for the people. You can follow along, comment with us down below who you have. We're going to have a newcomer player of the year. We're going to have a newcomer school of the year, offensive player of the year, defensive player of the year. And then finally, we're going to name the Big 12 championship game and the Big 12 champion. Okay. So that's how we're going to rattle on through this. Okay. So we'll start with newcomer player of the year. Mark, I want to start with you.
Starting with me, newcomer player of the year. It's an easy call for me on the OU side. I'm going with freshman Peyton Bowen. I think that he steps into a starting role either immediately or not long after the season starts. And whether he starts or doesn't start, he will be in the rotation from day one. The guy gets football in a way that most freshmen just don't. Most players just don't. His brain's a little bit different. That's why even though he's not 6'3", 210, he's getting recruited like it before he ever comes to Oklahoma. Now he's in the hands of a mastermind like Brent Venables, and I think you're going to see really inventive ways of getting him on the field and playing well. On the non-Oklahoma side of things, because everyone's going to do an OU player and a non-OU player for the player awards here, I'm going to A.D. Mitchell. He's the Georgia receiver who wasn't super productive because he didn't play very much last season. Transferred to Texas this year and might be the most physically imposing receiver that Oklahoma plays against this year. He was a highly recruited player and is, give me one moment, I had it. I mean, he's 6'4", 196. He's imposing. He's fast. He's everything that we kind of hope either Nick Anderson or Jaden Gibson become. So I think that if Texas has the kind of year everyone talks about them having, that's who it's going to be.
Perfect. Patrick, what do you got, man? Also, I want to, sorry, I'm so sorry.
No worries.
I'm so sorry. Peyton Bowen, first team All-American freshman for On 3, I believe is what I saw.
Yes.
Today. So for those of you who may be like, what's that? It's a true freshman All-American list. So not red shirt. These are guys who are coming in fresh out of high school, and On 3 said he's part of that All-American team. So some OU news I missed earlier. Okay, Patrick, I'm sorry, man.
No worries. So for newcomer player of the year, OU, for my OU pick is Connor Neer. I think he's going to come in. I think he's going to be that mature statesman in the room and really take control of the linebacker room, and people are going to see it on the field. And he will be a huge impact to this defense, and so impactful that we're going to have the best defense in the Big 12. For my non-OU player, I've got Treshawn Ward, Florida State running back transfer. He was a 3-star as a prospect and a 4-star in the portal, one of the top 5 running back. He was the top 5 running back in the portal. So with Deuce Vaughn now leaving, you get a solid guy coming in, and he has the opportunity to be very, very good and get a lot of yards for that really good Kansas State team.
Love it. Matt, what do you got, brother?
Great pitch, Patrick. That was fantastic insights. Fantastic. OU player, I'm going with transfer from Wake Forest, Rondell Brothroyd. I am so high on this guy to play complement linebacker and D-line kind of on the edge football with all the other guys that we've brought in. So playing alongside Deshaun McCullough, Danny Stutzman, and then all of the defensive line transfers that we've had. I think Bothroyd is going to be a really surprising big factor for this OU defense. So really looking forward to him to make a lot of big impact plays and really fill in those gaps that just we weren't able to last year. So look out for Bothroyd, Wake Forest transfer. My non-OU football transfer, this guy's been around the block. I'm going to go with Kendon Slovis. He has started his career at USC, played his 4th year at Pittsburgh, and is now a graduate transfer at BYU. I just like veteran quarterback. He has shown in big games that he can play. Moving to BYU, I'm always going to go with a veteran quarterback presence. So look out for Kendon Slovis, BYU Cougar quarterback.
Okay. And I'll round us out. Guys, I feel like we know who my newcomer is going to be. because I mentioned him a couple weeks ago, and that's Andrell Anthony. I am just a firm believer in Andrell Anthony. I truly believe, I truly do believe that he has the ability to break out in this offense and be a dangerous, dangerous receiver. I think he's got the body type. I think he's got the speed. I think he's got the athleticism to do very, very well in this offense. I look forward to seeing what Andrell has to add. And on my newcomer player of the year, I'm going to go with a guy from Houston. Where'd he go? I lost him. There he is. Nelson Caesar. He's an edge rusher out of Houston. So he's someone who was picked on the Big 12 all first team. And Houston coming in, I'm really, really high on Houston in the new Big 12. I think they have what it takes to kind of, I don't want to say take over, but be a really good program. I think I like what Dana Holgorsen does a lot. I enjoy watching Dana Holgorsen be a head coach for whether it's for West Virginia or whether it's for Houston. His offenses are electric and they're a lot of fun. And I think Houston has the ability to recruit very, very well if they just had a better conference. So now you're out of the American. Now you're telling these kids you can play in a Power 5 conference. You can play in the Big 12. You can play Texas teams, stay close to home, not have to, play other schools in the American Conference. I think that's a big selling point for me for Houston in being a new school to look out for. And I think I kind of just made my point for the new school who I expected the most out of. And that's for me, that's Houston. Kind of didn't really think about it, but that was my point for Houston. Houston is my pick for the newcomer school of the year. So who do you guys got?
I think Houston's going to be the worst new team coming into this year. Just have a hunch. I think it's going to be UCF. I think Houston, though, agree with all your Houston points. I think they're going to be able to recruit Houston very well and take recruits away from A&M and Texas that they might not have been previously.
Yeah.
UCF for me. I think that they're the school here, they're the program here that has been in bigger games, and they're going to have the easiest time transitioning into the conference. That'll be seen and played out during this year as well.
Yeah, I'll jump in because I picked the same team, and because I picked UCF on two things, their quarterback's a senior, threw for over 2,500 yards, 14 touchdowns. So I'm always going to be a big believer in a veteran quarterback, but also probably has the best head coach out of all the four teams coming in. So when you have a good head coach and a good quarterback that's been for a while, that's usually a good combo. So I'm going to go for UCF being the best newcomer of the four teams coming in.
Mark?
Yeah, I guess I'm going rogue.
Nice.
Cool.
BYU. This year it's going to be BYU. Teams are not used to that kind of travel. They're not used to the heckling that you get from a Brigham Young University crowd. It's not like another place. It's different, all right? They're always at 6. But they're always at 6.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to bring it. It's a hard place to play. It's not fun. It's beautiful there, but it's not fun to play there. Let's go BYU.
They got the hip hop dancing cougar out there. It's a tough place to play. That's to be for certain. All right, Matt, I want to start with you on this one. Offensive player of the year. Okay.
I really appreciate that. I feel like the obvious choice is going to a quarterback, so I'm going to go to another skill position. And the guy that has to be the player of the year for the Oklahoma offense, the most consistent, the guy that we know, that's going to be Jalil Farouk. I think he's going to have an absolute monster year, being the clear-cut number one guy now that Marvin Mims and our wide receiver room is just a little bit unknown. So he has to be the clear-cut guy. I expect him and DG really to take a whole nother level. So that's who I'm going to pick for my Sooner player of the year. Same big as you, Mason, going with someone outside of the program. I'm going to go Jalen Daniels, the Kansas quarterback, a guy that was having a Heisman campaign last year before he got injured, really just giving Kansas a rebirth to their football program, plus now getting a brand new stadium as well. I really believe in Jalen Daniels, probably the best quarterback when it comes to being a dual threat in the Big 12. So I'm going to go Jalen Daniels out of Kansas.
Patrick, what do you got, man?
Yeah, my offensive player of the year for the Big 12 on the OU team is, of course, Gavin Freeman. We're talking about him like he's Hollywood Brown. The fall clips look like he's Hollywood Brown. Give me Gavin Freeman as the player of the year in the Big 12. My non-OU pick is Xavier Worthy because he should be that dude. The problem is UT always implodes and they don't have a good enough quarterback to make him the best player in the Big 12 from an offensive perspective.
Mark, what do you think?
Monte Barnes on offense. I think that even though we're going to pass the ball more this season than we did last season, he's going to carve out a very large role and be very effective with it. I expect him to be sort of the engine that the offense runs behind. On the Big 12 wide scale, I wrote down Jalen Daniels, but nothing that I had was better than what Matt Gann said. So Jalen Daniels.
Love it. I'm going to agree with Pat in the outside OU camp, Xavier Worthy. I think he is the best player in the Big 12 on offense or defense, in my mind. I think that he is. Now, does it pan out? Like, can Quinn Ewers throwing the ball or Arch Manning? If they're going to start Arch Manning, who knows? It's going to be Quinn. That was a joke, just in case anyone didn't catch that. So Xavier Worthy's my outside OU pick. And then my inside OU pick, I'm going Dylan Gabriel. Okay. I'm a firm believer. I'm on record. I'm a believer in Dylan Gabriel. I think he has what it takes to this team. He knows this team can only go as far as he can take them. He knows the expectations that are expected of him. I think he's ready to wear that on his shoulders. He's ready to carry this team to some victories. And there are going to be games, folks. We're going to be in trouble. And Dylan's going to need to get us out of trouble. I think he can. Dylan Gabriel is my OU Offensive Player of the Year. So we'll move on to defense now. My Defensive Player of the Year outside of OU is going to be the OSU defensive end, Colin Oliver. He was the 2021 Freshman of the Year in the Big 12. Colin Oliver, edge rusher. I picked 2 edge rushers, by the way, in case people were curious. I think they have the biggest impact. I think they have the biggest impact on the field for a defense. And Colin Oliver has what it takes to be a really, really good one. We saw as a freshman, him winning the Big 12 Freshman of the Year. I think he has what it takes. So watch out for him. In terms of OU defensive players, I've kind of flip-flop back and forth, but really to me, I'm going to go maybe against the grain, maybe not really. Jonah Laulu. Jonah Laulu was very, very, very involved in the ESPN Plus show, had a lot of interview time. And that is on purpose because OU has a write-off on everything that goes into that show, just like on Hard Knocks. So I guarantee you, Brent Venables and company said, put a mic on Jonah Laulu and listen to what this guy has to say because we care what this guy has to say. I think he's going to be a leader on the team. I think he's going to be a leader on the field. And I think his play will show that he deserved to be a Big 12 Media Day, just like everybody else was. He'll perform well. Jonah Laulu, my defensive MVP.
I love that one.
Nice. Pat, start us off, man.
Yeah, sure. So my non-OU guy is going to be TJ Tampa. He's heading into his senior season at Iowa State, and he was very good last year, and he's going to be very good this year too. My OU defensive player of the year for the Big 12 will be Billy Bowman. I think he was arguably one of the best defensive players for us last year, and if we're going to have the best defense in the Big 12, Billy Bowman's going to be one of the best players on that defense, if not the best.
I like it. Matt Gann?
Well, according to Mark, it might be Peyton Boeing, so we'll have to see how that battle ensues. But it's good to have both those guys back there. My OU guy is going to be Deshaun McCullough. I think there's a lot of importance on his position. That's BV's bread and butter is linebackers coming off a Big Ten all-freshman American season last year. I think he has to be the guy along with Danny Stutzman. I feel like Danny's going to be very consistent, but I think Deshaun McCullough is going to make the difference for that linebacker group and that position. So he's definitely got to be the leader of that defense with Danny. My OU or non-OU guy is going to be preseason defensive player of the year for the Big 12, Jalen Ford, linebacker at Texas. I hate saying it, but he is a great player who played alongside Overshone, who got drafted by the Cowboys. So now he is essentially taking over that position, which has always been really good for Texas. So Jalen Ford, Texas linebacker.
It's you, Mark, I think.
I think that it is too. My non-Oklahoma defensive player of the year for the conference is going to be BYU linebacker Ben Bywater. Ben Bywater runs about 6'3", 235, has the most BYU name you could possibly imagine, and has started every single game in his career. He's a Butkus Award preseason finalist, along with my OU defensive player of the year, Danny Stussman. I think that Danny really puts it together this year. You'll have to listen into the Oklahoma program guys, positional preview podcast that I recorded with Mason on the subject. It'll be dropping here soon to get all my thoughts on why, but I think that Danny is in for a transcendent kind of season.
I was just going to plug that, Mark. I'm glad you did. Really good conversation between me and Mark about Danny and the entire linebacker room as a whole, but we spent a lot of time on Danny, deservedly so.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, a lot of fun. So be on the lookout for that. Also, Mormon Mark out here. A couple BYU guys. That's what I call him. Mormon Mark. You know what I mean?
Love these guys.
Just a question for you, Mason and Mark. I know that you guys did that podcast, talked a lot about Danny before he dyed his hair this week.
Oh, man.
Anything change from your perspective, how he'll perform?
I mean, what are we doing, man? Like
it's a perm too. It's a perm.
Just like if you did it in like April, right? Okay, fine. You got months before the season starts. But we're starting in 2 weeks. And you're like, hey, here's my permed purple or pink or whatever it is hair. I mean, come on, man. What are we doing? You make it hard for me to love you, right? You make it hard for me. Just let me love you. Stop making it so difficult. That's my issue with it.
Yeah. I saw some feedback online and people were like, looks like Boz. No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. That feels very much like when we talked ourselves into Speed D. It's something that you know, or Caleb painting his nails. It's something that you know is bad. You're not that into. But because your team is the one doing it, you're kind of just like, oh, yeah, it looks like Boz.
Yeah.
Nah, man, I'm against all of this. They got my guy, freshman Phil Picciotti, going full blonde. You know what he did not plan on doing when he committed from IMG Academy back in the day? Going full blonde.
No, getting bullied by Danny and Jaron to go full blonde.
Yeah, while they do their goofy colors. What are we doing here in the linebacking room?
They went back and were like, hey, dude, hold this sword. And Phil was like, are you sure? And they're like, yeah, man, this is sick.
Yeah, look, you can hold it. Sit down. I'm getting the peroxide ready.
What do you got, Mark or Matt? What do you got?
Just come on over to Deshaun McCullough. He's not doing that kind of stuff. Just come on over,
for the love of it's Deshaun.
Deshaun, come on over, boys. Hop on the train. Hop on the train. Come on now.
Oh my gosh.
All I'll say is if he's gonna do all this stuff, he better damn well be an All-American if he's gonna start doing this stuff.
That's
2 weeks,
yes.
the sword, everything. I hope he does. He better, and hopefully you see great improvement from Jaron Knacht. Or if that doesn't happen, we're gonna have to go to Patrick because Patrick can't deal with this nonsense.
Yeah. Okay. Picking the Big 12 championship game. Who's gonna be there? Who's gonna win? Patrick, start with you.
I think Oklahoma's going to be there against Kansas State, and I think Oklahoma's going to win it.
Okay, I like it. Matt Gann.
That's the exact pick I had. So OU over Kansas State.
Mark.
Well, that sucks.
I
So
know.
I really like Chris Kleiman at Kansas State. I think
Yeah.
he's done a great job. I think Will Howard's good. I think that they're going to miss Deuce Vaughn a bit, but like something that Patrick brought up in the running back episode we recorded was how much does a running back even change something versus a different running back that gives you like 75%. It's just, I was going to pick Kansas State, guys.
Yeah.
And now, because they did, give me the OU Texas Redux to close out the Big 12 in style. And of course, we take them down, probably with ease.
Yeah. I had OU Kansas State. I did. I'm like you said, Mark, I'm a firm believer in Chris Kleiman. Like, let's just get this one thing straight. Texas received 41 first place votes. Kansas State received 14. I believe that's the number. Someone can double check me in the comments. I don't care enough to look at it right now. Texas is we are constantly force fed Texas. We were force fed them in the All Big 12 team. We're forced to like them in any preseason poll that you ever get. And then they're going to come out against Alabama and look completely overmatched and outmanned. They will not win that game in Tuscaloosa. Then you go into Big 12 play, and they're going to lose 2 games that they're not supposed to and finish like 3rd place or 4th place on the outside looking in the Big 12 championship game, because that's what happens. That's what happens. And that's what's going to happen again this year. You can tell me, again, we just talked about it, guys. We truly did. The Texas has a lot of talented players. They have a lot of guys on the All Big 12 team. They always do. The problem is the head coach, the dude who's wearing the headset. It's always the issue. And I am 100% not convinced Steve Sarkisian is that guy. I'm just not. I never have been. And I will not be. That's my Texas.
Has never led a team to double-digit wins.
Yeah.
Ever.
So there you go. So what did I just say? You're going to lose to Alabama. You'll lose 2 more games that you're not supposed to. You finish 9-3. Not a double-digit win season. Again.
I think part of the reason why we're being force-fed them even more this year is because we're not supposed to be the outright winners of the Big 12. We're supposed to be bad.
You're right.
But guess what? We were bad last year, real bad last year, and they couldn't get anything done then.
No.
But why should they be able to do anything now when we're better?
Yeah, they got it handed to them by Matt's Horned Frogs.
Yeah.
They really did. Matt,
and yet I can't go with K-State just because you guys all did it. We can't be.
I know.
Unanimous. Because if we're unanimous, it'll be like K-State, Texas,
Well, and I was like, when I formulated the K-State OU game in my mind, I was kind of just like, oh yeah, everyone else may go Texas, maybe someone throws in like a weird UCF or something like to be random. I'm surprised that we're all as pro Kansas State as we are. But I think we're all believers in Chris Kleiman and what he can do.
Yeah.
So let us know down below in the comments what your Big 12 championship game pick is. Is OU there? Is OU not there? Is Texas fraudulent like we always think they are? Let me know down below in the comments. Okay. All right. So, all right. Are we doing the Baker thing? Live on air.
Hey, everyone, be smart with your money. There are great courses on YouTube. If you come into lots of money, speak with someone like a trusted advisor that doesn't ask you to give them your money. That's all we have. That's all I have to say is if they want your money in their possession, that's probably iffy.
Fair enough. I'm touching on Baker. Pause later on in my MVP, so I will withhold. But anybody else on Baker? Didn't want to get anything out. Okay, cool. So yeah. All right. Moving on. Circle the WaGanns real quick. Matt Gann, you want to circle those WaGanns real quick?
Absolutely. Some of the fall sports coming into play, and one of Patrick's favorite teams already starting the season off strong with two winners, one against the home opener against Tulsa and the new head coach Mott Error, winning 6-0 against Tulsa, and then a few days later playing Old Roberts, beating them 4-2, and they will play the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff for their third game, I believe, on Thursday. So when you're listening to this, it'll be tomorrow evening as they look to start the season 3-0. Patrick, anything on your end about what you like about the coach that's replacing the former guy?
Yeah, I mean, definitely a really good start. I'm still kind of surprised we got rid of Mark Carr just because he was bringing in the top recruiting class in the Big 12. So it was an interesting move from like an outsider's perspective, but hopefully Matthew Mott's got him ready to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Two big home openers for the girls. So let's see what they can do tomorrow evening against, again, Arkansas Pine Bluff. The only other update that I have for the WaGanns segment is Oklahoma men's basketball getting invited back to the 2024 Battle for Atlantis event. Some pretty big teams going to be in it, including Indiana, Arizona, Gonzaga, Louisville, Creighton, West Virginia, and Davidson. So a lot of big college basketball programs going to be partaking in that event, which OU has played in before. We'll see how they end up doing, especially with their whole roster being completely shifted with a lot of transfers and a lot of people leaving. So let's see if Moser can get it started in that tournament. I think they have a couple exhibition games before then, but that would be a really good indicator of how the season might go, playing some good competition. But other than that, we'll have some more updates as the fall sports come into play. But that's it for now.
Love that. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it as always. PGP MVP of the week time. As always, let us know down below in the comments who your MVP of the week is as we move along through this segment. Mark, I'll start with you.
I'm going to go with the offseason. It won, as it always wins. It beats us down.
Dude, it really does.
It takes everything from you. The moment you get down to just baseball, and I guess you guys have international soccer.
No, it was just baseball. So.
The days get bare. They get empty. Baseball, a lot of times it's happening during the workday. So what are you doing when you get home? It won the battle, but we're about to win the war. I was having a conversation with a friend, and we were remarking upon how, as we've gotten into real life, the football season is kind of the season for life. It's I travel the most during that time. I'm undoubtedly rowdier. Everything that leads up to about the month of September is just built around getting to September these days. It'll change when we have kids. That'll happen. But for now, we're about to enter the glory days. And I'm so excited, guys. So my MVP is the offseason. For now. Week 0 coming next week. Hit us up with the new show.
Perfect. Perfection. The off season is just so long, man. It was rough, dude. It truly is, man. Luckily I had like a soccer start last week. So like I've at least had like something to look forward to in terms of like things I care about. But like baseball doesn't really hold my interest right now. The Red Sox suck. So it's not fun to watch baseball for me right now. And the best players in baseball are wasting away out in Los Angeles. No offense, Pat. So it's not fun. Yeah. Okay. Matt Gann, MVP.
Yeah, this was tough. Not a whole lot going on in today's world, but I'm going to go what happened last night. A historic record was broken. Dramatic pause. That is the preseason NFL football record. Baltimore Ravens, a 24-game winning streak, came to the end last night by the Washington Commanders. The new ownership showing them who's boss, having an awkward handshake in the booth, but their team ending a 24-game win streak last night, a streak that has lasted, I think, well over like 6, 7, 8+ years, which is crazy.
2015, yeah.
About. Yeah, something insane. I think the quarterback for the Commanders was like in middle school the last time the Ravens lost a preseason game.
Nice.
So give it up for the newly owned Washington Commanders defeating the streak.
Love it. Patrick, MVP.
Give me Todd Bates. I saw a lot of Todd Bates slander last week. The Missouri literally passed a law to make that happen. Okay?
Great point.
Todd Bates is my MVP. I have faith going into these next few weeks that he's got it all under control. Everything's going to be okay. Todd Bates is the dude.
Great MVP.
My MVP is Baker Reagan Mayfield. Baker Mayfield, with all the bad news that came out today with his money problems, he was named the starter of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The starter, Baker Mayfield, is back. The king has returneth. I'm very excited to see what Baker does this year. All due respect to Mark, I hope his Falcons win the division, and I think they will win the division by 2 games. But again, I'd love to see Baker kind of carry that team to maybe a fun little wild card flirtation. That'd be a lot of fun. Beating out Kyle Trask for the job. You can say what you want about Baker. You should never count him out. He proved to you last year with the Rams that he has what it takes to still be a starter in this league, to give him the opportunity, and maybe being with the Bucs, a functional organization is kind of what he needs. The Rams were a functional organization. I'll give them credit, but like the Panthers was rough, and then the Browns are the Browns. They're a joke. So yeah, Baker, my MVP for once again being named a starting quarterback. Shout out to Baker. Reminder time. Join the Pick'em League. Join the Pick'em League. Top 3 get free shoes. It's free to enter, folks. Free to enter. Link down below in the comments for the Pick'em League. You can find us there. ProgramGuys.com. We're dropping positional previews, dropping positional preview pods. A lot of hard work going into those. Check out the website. The website looks great. Please enjoy it. It's all for you. It's all free. Enjoy it. Also, you can find us on Twitter at Program Guys with the Z, our Instagram Program Guys with the Z, our Facebook page Program Guys Podcast, our TikTok Program Guys. Pat's crushing the TikToks as well. So check those out as always. And subscribe, folks. Help us out. Before we get too deep into the season, I really, truly want to say, and if you made it this far in the episode, then you're a real one. Thank you. Thank you so much. When we really started this show, it was just 5 guys who were best friends from college who just wanted to see each other and talk stuff for an hour a week. And it's developed into something that we got 1,700 people along for the ride with. And we can't wait to add more this season. It's going to be a ton of fun. We hope you join in. We hope you enjoy. We hope you engage with us. We hope you talk with us. Join the program. My dogs freak out, of course, during my monologue. How terrible. But this all is possible because of you guys and you guys supporting us. Share us with 5 friends. Let some people know, hey, I checked these guys out. These guys are fun. They're a fun listen. It's an easy listen. Hour a week. Join the program. It's not hard to be a good subscriber. Help us out. It's $0. $0. That's all I got to say. Anybody else, anything before we get out of here?
There's not one guy,
We're dropping
one
every few
person
days.
in the
Love
history
it.
of this
Hype
program
shoes.
that's
Love you,
bigger
Hype Shoes. Pat,
than
take
the
us out.
program.
Keep pushing it, baby.
What's better than this? Guys being dudes.